I was on Instagram looking for some booty videos and I came across It's On Site, which is like a blog that you get stories from. And you know, I wasn't really on there looking for that. As you know, I was looking for the cheeks.
Got it!
But I came across this particular video, so you know I had to check it out.
I'm sorry, but to me, being 45 with no kids and no husband, talking about I'm still trying to find the right one, is not a flex. That is not, baby, you are damaged goods at that point. I know y'all hate when I call y'all that, but time does not play. And y'all want to sit up here and be like, oh, in my 20s, this is my 20s. That is your prime, girl. Get the best. You are going to get the best man you can get in your 20s. I promise you that. After that, you are just a pick of a random ass litter, and you better hope to God that you find somebody, because when I'm telling y'all, it's hard out here. Y'all think it's all fun and games because you're cute now and your tight little waist and all that stuff. That be gone, girl. You know what I mean? Like right now, stop playing around. Disclaimer though, I'm not saying going out here and be a baby mama. No. Do not go out here and have kids in your 20s if you're not married. Do not. That is the girl, you will ruin your life. Do not do that. If you are not married, do not have kids in your 20s. Now, if you're not married and you get pregnant in your 30s, probably best to keep the because we don't know when your next opportunity gonna come. But like I said, this is for marriage goals only. Get married in your 20s. And they talking about some, oh, what if you don't like that person? What if you change? You both are going to change. You both will have things you don't like and things you do like, but you just can't leave someone because of one thing you don't like about them.
So here you have this lady who is basically getting on these single women for basically not having a man and, you know, telling them like, hey, if you get a certain age over 45 and you're looking for a dude, you're washed and guys ain't gonna want you. Basically, you've hit the wall. And I know the comment section was going crazy. It was a lot of comments on that post. So I decided to share some of these comments with you guys. Now, the real Nelly says, we'll meet the best man you can find in your 20s, girl, bye. Somebody says, Pink, 45, no kids, still killing it and about to marry the one God handpicked for me. Ladies, don't rush ish. These societal norms have people about to lose their minds. Do what's best for you. Now, we can't really quantify if this is true, right? But she's saying that God handpicked this man for her. And it could be true. Maybe she did meet the man of her dreams. But this whole idea that God is going to handpick somebody for you is not the same as somebody else, okay? That's why we all have different abilities. Some of us live in different parts of the world. When I lived in California, I lived in Sacramento. Now, if I'm a successful black man, it's probably easier for someone like me to get a successful black woman in Sacramento because there's not a lot of high earning black men. But if you're a black woman in Sacramento, it may be hard for you to get a high earning black man. You may need to be in a different city. And if you're in a different city, it also may be much difficult because the competition is harder. So it all depends. Everything is so dependent on luck, timing, your attitude, all of this. And this whole idea that God is going to handpick somebody for a woman, especially in the black community, is crazy, okay? And you can hear it. These societal norms about to have you losing your mind. Basically, do what's best for you. I'm gonna get back to that. Alicia, watching everyone have these useless opinions when I know women that are 40 plus living their best life, enjoying their best moments and stress free. Please quit listening to bitter broads that deflect because they made mistakes in their life. Good night, ya. She's gonna end up dating those words she speaks when she's 45. Big beauty Brit, she fine, by the way. Shout out to her. And this one, it's always somebody to love you. Be patient and work on yourself no matter what age and what you have and may not have. So these are some interesting comments that I see from, you know, ladies in general when somebody is, you know, trying to tell them about their future and their outlook. And let me just tell you this. You know, from what I've seen in the last 10 years, I tend not to get into these debates or arguments with women because it's very touchy and it's wasting my time. And I would suggest that you don't do it either. But one thing that I have understood, just talking to women in general, whether it's in Africa or Black America, is that sometimes women can overestimate their leverage. And I've noticed this not only with women in the dating market, but like female entrepreneurs also. And this kind of idea, you know, that because I am me, and what I have going on, it supersedes what the logic or premise may be. And so therefore, I'm going to be fine, okay? And they don't tend to understand the wider context. Like a lot of women that I know that are in business, even if they're doing good, you know, they tend to start, you know, gradually as time goes on, not doing as well, okay? And that is because, and this is not all women, but when it comes to considering what the other person needs, considering what somebody else wants from you. I mean, I get it. You want money, you want a husband, you want a nice car, a nice house, a guy with a car. But I think women have a harder time adjusting from here's what I need, you know, when it comes to the private sector or dating, in particular dating, and what the other person needs. This is an issue, okay? And so when you're here in this situation, you know, it's always somebody to love you. Well, that's just like me saying it's always a customer to buy from you. But why would the customer buy from you? Be patient and work on yourself no matter what age and what you have and may not have. I mean, it seems very selfish because it is, when the real reality is we live in an ever-changing world, and the one thing, while many things change, one thing that stays the same is value. And it's always somebody to love you if you have something to offer, okay? And also, the person that loves you, you may not like them back, and we know women are very picky, but what about what these other people want? And what the lady is trying to explain to them on that video is the real harsh truth about most men. Most men that are wealthy, let's say, for example, you're 45, I'm 44. I want to get married now. Do I want to get married to somebody that's 44? It could happen, but what is the reality that it could happen? Probably not, okay? And this is not that I'm against somebody who's my age or somebody who's close to my age. Number one, I live in now in a young country. The average person is like 19 or 20. So you're coming across people that are younger in general, all right? And then also it's who has a positive or negative outlook on the world. And the reality is that when you see women that have this particular mentality, they've been single for a long time, and you know, I'm still killing it. I'm doing this. I'm worried about myself, what's good for me. The problem is that the world doesn't care about what's good for you. The world cares about what's good for it. And so this is why a lot of women, black women in particular, struggle with relationships and sometimes in the business market because the mentality is what makes me happy. It's such a turnoff. Okay? And not wanting to understand what the other person wants is the downfall of many women, especially in Black America. It's here in Africa too. You know, here where I live, it's a survivalism mentality amongst a lot of people, short-term thinking, and it's a very linear way to assess something. And then when you hear women talking about this, and you might be 45 now, but let's say when you get 60, when you're 45 and you're in good shape, you know, hey, you're 45 and you're still middle-aged, you still have some youth. What happens when you're 65 and then now, you know, you're sickly? You are, you know, you don't look as good as as you used to. You know, you have health complications and now you don't have a mate or you don't have family. And when you get to, you know, the middle of your life and you need to depend on people, you need to have that goodwill kind of invested up over the years. Like, look, I've invested into people. I've looked out for somebody. Now, hopefully somebody will look out for me. And then that is completely gone because your whole entire life, you've been thinking about what serves me. Well, when you're 65 and 70, people tend to forget about you, okay? And then now people look at, you know, hey, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to look out for you. And you need somebody to help you up the grocery store steps or, you know, help you do small things. And it's hard for you to do that because you spent your whole life worried about what you needed. And now you're 70, 75. And guess what? You don't have any goodwill built up. And then now you're gone, right? Now you don't have the income you used to have. So now who are those friends? Okay, who are the people that care about you? They may have already passed away. And this is why goodwill and building up goodwill and investing in it is so important for people, because there's gonna come a time where you actually need somebody. And then when you have never thought about investing into relationships, never thought about investing into people, never thought about how somebody else felt, then you get old and you hear about, like so many ladies, when they come out and talk about, you know, I'm old now, and for whatever reason, I don't have what, you know, I used to have, or I have to sell my house, I'm in poverty, nobody will help me. And then now you don't have that 45, 35, 25, you know, I'm living my best life anymore. And then, you know, your friends pass away. I can tell you right now, being 44, I've had friends that are no longer living now. Friends just fall apart. You know, people are at different times in your life. And so ultimately, a lot of these ladies just forget about that life is about impressing people. Ultimately, that's what it is. Life is about impressing people, doing something for other people. Why people don't understand it, I don't get it. When you don't understand it, I just don't know. When when you look at these ladies, they just, it's so sad because not even on a dating level, on a humanistic level, it's sad. It's so individualistic. I understand what the woman's saying hurt your feelings, but let's talk about it as men. If you're broke, you can't get somebody, right? Women gonna tell you, if you don't have anything going on, don't expect somebody. If you're not trying to take care of yourself, your hygiene, you won't get somebody. Men inherently understand that off the gate, okay? We won't argue about it. Why? Because you can't change what somebody wants. We all know this. 80% of the women, as they say, I don't know how true this is, want 20% of the men. We already understand it as fact, okay? Women's Day, Valentine's Day, when you get Men's Day, women don't buy men anything. Yet Women's International Day, men are breaking their back. Girlfriend's Day, if it's Boyfriend's Day, men get nothing, okay? We don't complain about it. We understand it for what it is, and we have accepted it. Women got a hard time accepting that youth and beauty is a big part of what drives us, okay? And you get in early, and then you stay late, okay? You get drafted early, then you stay late. When you talk to women about that, it's a problematic thing. Well, I'll just wait until God give me what? No, what if he doesn't? Because many women don't get what God has for them. It doesn't happen like that. And ultimately what happens is those women tend to not, be successful. That kind of attitude doesn't bring them, good female friends. Because again, in order for you to have female friends, you have to be able to do something for somebody. And when you don't do anything for somebody, it shows. It just shows. And I just don't get the mentality. And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's something that I just don't realize. But ultimately, this is problematic. It's problematic thinking. And until women really start to understand the wider context, they're just gonna suffer in most relationships. They're gonna suffer. Women are gonna have to somehow look at the fact that men are what they are for the most part. And it's either you're gonna be what that is for that guy, or you're not. And if you're not gonna be what that is, that's fine. Just realize that if you're not that, you're gonna lose some ground to some people. You're gonna lose some ground to the passport bros. You're gonna lose some ground to these other chicks out here, okay? You're gonna lose some ground to white women. You're gonna lose some ground to any woman, even in Black American women, who understand the wider context. Understanding this context is, in this framework, it's so imperative. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of Celebrity Junk. Push your fire, use for the bell. We're out.